Our opening song this morning is I Am the Thinker. I am the thinker who thinks the thought that changes things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thought I have the power to change my life. And if you ask me who am I am wisdom, I am light, I am more than meets the eye, cannot be defined. I am the thinker who thinks the thought that changes things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thought I have the power to change my life. If you ask me what am I am beauty, I am joy, I am more than meets the eye, I cannot be defined. I am the thinker who thinks the thought that changes things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thought I have the power to change my life. I can choose to be the light right in someone's darkest night. I'm so much more than meets the eye, cannot be defined. I am the thinker who thinks the thought that changes things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thought I have the power to change my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thought that changes things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thought I have the power to change my life. I have the power to change my life. I have the power to change my life.
Hello, I'm David Burke, and I'm your trustee on duty today. On behalf of Reverend Donna and the Board of Trustees, I am privileged to welcome you to the Sonoran Desert Center for Spiritual Living. Whoever you are and wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are truly welcomed here. Here you will be validated, supported, and encouraged to be all that you are meant to be. Our vision statement is love in action every day in every way. We express this love by learning and living the principles of the science of mind. You will find our declaration of principles at the back of your program. Please join me now in reading them. I believe there is an infinite intelligence operating throughout the universe. I believe this intelligent power is only good. I believe this intelligence expresses as me. I believe through my conscious use of this power, I create my life as happy, healthy, and complete. And so it is. Do we have any first-timers here today that would like to be recognized?
First time in a year.
Yes. Yes, and Russ. And I just wanted to say that Lynn stopped by at the men's breakfast, and it was wonderful to see him and enjoy having him part of our discussion. So thank you. And Jean is back, yep. All right. Well, we hope you all stay after for refreshments and get to be reacquainted with everyone, and we just appreciate you being here. I would also like to thank all the people that make this Sunday celebration possible, and first of all of you. So thank you so much. It wouldn't be this awesome center without you in the chairs, so I thank you personally for that. Please direct your attention now to the announcements that are in your bulletin. And if you're watching online, please visit cslaz.org for our announcements and our calendar of events.
Please join me in our Namaste chant on the first page of your program. The God in me beholds the God in you. It is all for our greatest and highest good. The God in me beholds the God in you. And you and I are one. Namaste. The God in me beholds the God in you. It is all for our greatest and highest good. The God in me beholds the God in you. And you and I are one. Namaste, namaste.
Hi, my name is Louise, and I am your practitioner today. Hi all. So the practitioners, we are the healing arm of the church. We pray for those who request prayer, and we provide a loving and a supportive atmosphere to help you explore your own power and potential. We do this through affirmative prayer and by assisting you in making changes in your life by changing your consciousness. That's how it's done. So if you would like prayer this week, we have a prayer box over there and cards. Please feel free to fill a card out if you have a challenge or if you'd just like to even say hi. And we'll hold you in the high watch this week. I light the service candle, knowing that we each have a light within ourselves that we take out into the world. So, let's take a deep breath and just know there is one power, one presence, one divine intelligence in the universe. I call it God, and God is all there is. all the energy and action and vitality there is in the universe is God, and it is manifesting through each and every one of us right here, right now. And I know that each and every one of us is one with this divine intelligence, this all good, this power and presence. And I know today that this service is blessed and it is unfolding as it is meant to be. And I know that there are blessings for Reverend Donna, whose words inspire and teach us. And we anchor this by saying, and so it is. Yes. So I'm doing a reading today, and it's actually from this month's Science of Mind magazine, and it just kind of spoke to me, and it's called Choosing Peace. So, have you ever stood among the trees and looked up to see the filtered rays of the sun shining through the branches? That's what love does. It shines its light into the deepest recesses of our darkest moments so that we might see them more clearly. We don't always have to be brave or cheerful or strong. Sometimes we just need to let our human selves feel whatever there is to feel. The beloved shines its light on each feeling until it's no longer scary. We can see that we are okay right in the middle of the feeling. Then we can gently let it go and return to the inner peace that resides deep within each of us, reminding us of who we are as we live out our very human lives. Opportunities to choose peace show up all day long. I journey together with family members, loved ones, friends, and work associates. Sometimes we come to a junction when it's best to go in different directions. It may be a hard decision, and it's important to feel all the feelings that emerge. I say goodbye kindly and respectfully, each of us free to go down that road that calls to us. At every junction, I look for opportunities to choose peace, and I take them. I choose peace the moment I hold a space for love, when I feel angry, or when I bite my tongue instead of giving my uninvited opinion. Happens a lot at home. I choose peace when I put myself in someone else's shoes, seeking to understand their point of view, or when I forgive myself for my wrongdoings, which helps me forgive others. The serenity prayer asks for the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I can find many things that are within my power to change. Since I can't change some things, I do well to accept them instead of spending precious time fretting about them. When I summon the courage to change the things I can, peace reigns once again. Namaste. So I take this candle and I hold the high watch for you and our spiritual community. Thank you.
Thinking a lot about our monthly theme, talking about the paradox of pretty much everything. There's so much duality in life, and sometimes it can be a little confusing, just a little bit. But my friend Jana has an awesome song that speaks directly to that. Sometimes you feel lost, right? But she says in her song, I'm not lost, I'm exploring. And that's what I like to ascribe to.
If I could look down on this path I walk from somewhere way up high, I could see the crooked road that I have come. I walked a mile with sorrow, I walked a mile with joy. Now I'm less afraid of either one. For every tear I cried, there's a smile that I have earned. For every road I walk, there's a lesson I learned. I am not lost, I am exploring. Life is an adventure worth enjoying. Though I may not know where I'm going, I am not lost, I am exploring. I am not lost, I am exploring. Some people choose to live their lives on quiet avenues, while others find a place in the parade. Some like me are seekers, we take less traveled roads, believing we can find a better way. And though I get discouraged, I know I'm not going back. I have faith as my compass and joy as my map. I am not lost, I am exploring. Life is an adventure worth enjoying. Though I may not know where I'm going, I am not lost, I am exploring. I am not lost, I am exploring. All of us are headed for the same destination, so why not blaze a trail that's got imagination? I am not lost, I am exploring. Life is an adventure worth enjoying. Though I may not know where I'm going, I am not lost, I am exploring. I am not lost, I am exploring.
Thank you. Namaste.
I love that song. Thanks, Heather. I appreciate it. We are exploring. Good morning. We are continuing our theme for the month with just playing with paradox, and as I said last week, it's fun for me. I enjoy this idea that we walk in two worlds. As a matter of fact, Melinda came up and said to me and said, "Well, Jesus only walked in one world." No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He turned water into wine at a wedding. You know, that was his first miracle. So that is the idea. I mean, he is the epitome of walking in two worlds. And this is where you and I are going with this teaching. How do we do that? How do we stay connected, as the words that Louise read? How do we stay connected to spirit and then branch out into our world of affairs? So that's what we're doing all this month, is talking about it. The word, and our topic for this week is getting comfortable with discomfort. The word paradox comes from the Greek paradoxon, which means contrary, and doxa, which means opinion. And it's defined as a seemingly absurd or self-contradictory statement that may prove to be well-founded or true. Also, a situation, person, or thing that combines contradictory features or qualities. So as we continue to play in paradox, it's imperative that we look at those polarities that exist in our life that might be keeping us from living at our highest and best. Our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, was very clear that we are spiritual beings living a human experience. Yet so often we get caught up seeing from only one perspective that we miss what that means. If we are so focused on oneness and the big picture that we miss opportunities to reach out and love and support one another, then we're not embracing the totality of our humanity. And if we get so caught up in the suffering and challenges of living in the world that we forget our divinity, then we are missing out on the joy of being infinite and eternal. Science of Mind teaches us how to embrace this polarity of humanity and divinity. And when we manage this well, those uncomfortable experiences become part of a bigger picture and part of the tapestry that is our life. A middle-aged Zen monk, after many years of peaceful meditation, realized he was not enlightened. He went to his master and said, "Please, may I go find a place on the top of the mountain and stay there until I become enlightened?" The master gave his permission, and on the way to the mountain, the monk met an old man walking down from the mountain toward town, carrying a big bundle. The old man asked, where are you going, monk?" And the monk replied, "I'm going to the top of the mountain to get enlightened." Sensing wisdom in the old man, the monk asked, "Do you know anything of this enlightenment?" Well, the old man, of course, was really the bodhisattva of enlightenment. He let go. I'm missing something. Okay, let me fill in. Anything of this enlightenment. The old man, who was really the bodhisattva enlightenment, let go of his bundle, and it dropped to the ground. And as all good Zen stories, the monk was enlightened. You mean it's that simple, just to let go and not be attached to anything? Then the newly enlightened monk looked back at the old man and asked, "So now what?" In answer, the old man reached down, picked up his bundle, and resumed his walk toward town. It's as simple and as hard as that. We're going to have times of discomfort. We're going to carry some heavy burdens. And we may find ourselves, as Louise said, confused and uncertain of our next step. M. Scott Peck tells us our finest moments can occur when we are feeling uncomfortable or unhappy, for it is in such moments that we are likely to step out of our ruts and find different ways and truer answers. Yet many of you know my story. You know, as a young woman, I was very unhappy living in the Midwest. I'd always felt like when I was about to be born, the stork sneezed on its way to the coast and dropped me into a very strange place with a very strange family. So finally, when I really couldn't stand it any longer, I tossed a coin. Los Angeles won, and that began both a new adventure and the beginning of my spiritual journey. Anais Nin says, "And the day came when the risk to remain tied in a bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom." Discomfort helps us take that risk. Discomfort calls us to grow. So our first step to getting comfortable with discomfort is to recognize that this moment, this experience, is calling us to grow. And if we see it as that, rather than as something that needs to be fixed, then we can see the benefit in the discomfort. Judith Orloff in the Empath Survival Guide writes, "In your own growth process, remember that the path to self-acceptance, inner peace, and spiritual growth is not a straight line. It's a spiral. We keep returning to issues that we thought we had healed. But this time around, more profound truths are revealed, which enhance our self-knowledge. Though self-awareness often makes us stretch beyond our comfort zone, sometimes it's painful, the result is that we become more radiant, compassionate, and solid in our connection to spirit. And there is no human attainment more precious than this." So we need the experience, the human experience of discomfort, because if we let it, it will be a catalyst for our spiritual enlightenment, and it will deepen us. We can also use discomfort to shift our perspectives. You know, a large truck tried to go under an overpass and became stuck, causing a huge traffic jam. A crowd began to form, and all the adults were looking at the top of the truck and the underside of the overpass, trying to figure out how to unstick the truck. In the crowd was a little boy about 6 years old. He said, "Why don't you let the air out of the tires?" The adults who were looking at the top of the truck weren't looking from that little boy's perspective. He was too small to see the top of the truck. He was standing face to face with the tires. When the adults shifted their perspective from the top of the truck to the tires, they saw what that little boy saw. And sure enough, when a little air was released from the tires, the truck drove smoothly under the overpass and continued on its way. So often we're looking at the top of the truck and not the tires. You know, we see something and we think we know exactly what to do and how to do it. And, and with just a little willingness to let go, we see it from a different perspective, and we can change things. You know, and we might need to change our perspective about other people. I've had those times when people in my life just wouldn't get out of my head. You know, and just like, you know, why are they there? And it takes some time, but if we work on it, we can do it. I had someone that I really didn't think I could ever forgive. And when I finally did forgive her, it was the most beautiful experience of my life. You know, I could feel how I let go and let God. And there's a story in Marianne Williamson's book, and she tells of her not so wonderful relationship with her mother. And so they decided to take a trip to Italy together, which was taking a rather disastrous course. And finally, Marianne stopped and changed her perspective by realizing that the person she was seeing was not the person Spirit was seeing. And she says, glancing across St. Mark's Square in Venice, I looked closely at my mother and said to myself, it's true. God is not looking at her and thinking, Sophie Ann is such a bitch. And as long as I choose to see her that way, as long as I was not willing to give up my focus on her errors, I could not be at peace because I was not sharing God's perception. And as soon as I saw this, I released my tense fixation on what I perceived to be her flaws. And from that point forward, the situation began to shift. Miraculously, she was nicer to me, and I was nicer to her. So our perceptives about our loved ones are often based on years of observation and interaction. And so often we begin to focus on all the flaws and everything that's wrong, and we stop looking at what's right. And so that's what we begin to get in our lives. You know? And if we ask ourselves, how does Spirit perceive itself through this person? And can I share that perspective? Then we're forming the basis for a whole new relationship that takes on the joy, love, and beauty of Spirit. And I know John and I have this all the time because we kind of argue, and it's easy to focus on one or two of his flaws and blow them out of proportion. And then I have to stop and remember that he's taking really good care of me at a time in my life when it's hard for me to do it. And then I realize how much love there is in this relationship. And it's beautiful. But we have to shift perspective. We always have to shift perspective. If we are just uncomfortable with what we're seeing, well, how else can we look at it? How else can we look at it? And it goes for ourselves as well. We need to challenge any perspective that tells us that we are less than, and remind ourselves that we are unique expressions of Spirit. You know, so many of us grew up with feelings of inadequacy and unworthiness. It's often difficult to see ourselves in the light of our own magnificence. And yet, if God is all there is, then we must be some part of God expressing as us. Ernest Holmes tells us, let us start with a simple proposition that life, which is spirit or intelligence, is the sole and only creative agency in the universe. This life principle always existed and will always continue to exist. You are part of its self-expression. Therefore, the whole desire of life is to give you more life. And since it is all life, it has all life to give you. It loves you because in creating you, it has given some part of itself to you. And he says, you are dear to life, beloved by it. In creating you, it has poured itself into you. You could not ask for greater love than this, and more love could not be given. So we are the offspring of spirit, and we should claim our divine inheritance. Every time we look into the mirror, I suggest we say, I am dear to life, beloved by it. And the more we see ourselves as dear to life, as beloved by it, the more love we generate. And not only do those ideas of unworthiness have no more hold over us, we are able to see everyone and everything through that same love. The third way to get comfortable with discomfort is to find common ground. We often find ourselves uncomfortable when we think we're doing the right thing, yet our good intentions are rebuffed in some way. If you want to see a really good story about that, there's on YouTube, I've forgotten the guy's name, but it's called Shut Up and Listen. And it's an incredible story about an NGO that goes dreadfully wrong trying to help. But I want to tell this story, and you probably have heard this too. I moved to Florida in October of 1966 to become the minister of the Vero Beach Church. So I was still pretty new when the Christmas holiday season came around. And my roommates were going to Miami to visit their friends. So I planned to spend my first Christmas in Florida all by myself. When Jennifer, one of the members of the church, found out, she said, "You're not spending Christmas alone, you're spending it with me." Jennifer's family had a huge cattle ranch. Her dad and mom lived in one house on the property. Jennifer and her husband lived in another, and her brother Sean, his wife and kids, lived in a third. So on Christmas morning, I found myself surrounded by a huge family, lots of ranch hands, eating a ranch hand breakfast and laughing at the children as they opened their presents. It was warm and wonderful. And when things settled down a bit, Jennifer's brother Sean said, "Well, I forgot to tag the newborn calves. Oh, I've got to go out to tag the newborn calves." And of course, all the kids yelled, "Well, we want to go too." And I yelled, "I want to go too." So Sean hooked a flatbed trailer to the tractor he was driving. The kids, Jennifer and I, piled onto the flatbed, and away we went to the South 40 to watch Sean tag newborn calves. As we drove up and stopped to a group of cows, one of the little girls jumped off the flatbed saying, "I want to pet a cow." And she ran up to one with her arm and hand outstretched. Of course, the cow veered away from her, and she was disappointed. Sean, in his very gentle way, came up to the little girl and said, "Honey, cows don't have hands. Your arm and hand look like a stick to her, and she's afraid of it." And then he paused and said, "But cows do have faces. If you put your arms to your side and come up to her gently with your face, she will not be afraid." The little girl did as Sean suggested, and sure enough, the cow came right up to her and stood nose to nose. She gently raised her hand and petted the cow with delight. So how often do we come to the situation with the best intentions, but we're met with resistance, distance, or distrust? And perhaps it's because we've led with our hand and not with our heart. So discomfort is a catalyst to our growth. That's a paradox. Discomfort calls us to shift perspective. That's a paradox. Discomfort prompts us to find common ground. That's a paradox. But when we are comfortable with discomfort, we have a whole new world to explore. And the paradoxes resolve themselves. And we do find ourselves walking in two worlds with peace, comfort, love, and harmony. Thank you. Namaste.
How many of you were in our Desert Players Choir when we did Open to Receive? All of life's riches. A few of you, yeah. So this one is really fun. All right. Let's see. Trying to figure out what to do. There we go. Goes like this. I am open to receive. I am open to receive. Open to receive all of life's riches. I am open to receive. I'm open to receive. Open to receive all of life's riches. Yeah, let's stand up. Open to receive. Open to receive, open to receive all of life's riches. Open to receive, open to receive. I am open to all of life's riches. Whoops, sorry. I am open to receive. I am open to receive, open to receive all of life's riches. I am open to receive. I am open to receive. Open to receive all of life's riches. Open to receive. Open to receive. Open to receive all of life's riches. Open to receive. Open to receive. Open to receive all of life's riches. Let's do it one more time. I am open to receive. I am open to receive. Open to receive all of life's riches. I am open to receive. I am open to receive. Open to receive all of life's riches. Love that one. That's Pastor Greg Stamper and his choir, Soul 21, in New York at Celebration Center for Spiritual Living.
I'm not familiar with him.
Ooh.
And it was so cool to receive it with just a thank you.
Beautiful.
Yes.
So hard not to, oh my billfold.
The art of receiving. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
yeah. So, yeah. So Mary received a dress and said thank you.
Made it for me.
Wow, somebody made it for her. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? And it is hard to receive. It is. Yeah. Okay, this is time for our offering. And I ask that you join me in our offering affirmation on the left-hand side of our bulletin. My gift goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless all that it touches. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I share generously of my good, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly, and so it is.
Thank you for everything. 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 Thank you for everything.
I do thank you for everything. Part of our tithe this month went to the kids at Sapori School. They're having a Halloween party there at Sapori, and so they needed some money for candy and decorations. And Crystal came in last week with tears in her eyes because we gave a check for $171 to do that. And John has promised that he's going to go in costume and be one of the people giving out candy. So that's your money in use. That's what part of this, 10% of our Sunday tithes goes to various places in our community. And that's your money at work. And I want you to know that. So thank you.
And Donna, the Amato Youth Group has moved into their new property.
That's right. The Amato Youth Group, I saw them packing up last week from over here. They are in their new property at the K Stupy Park, which is right next to Sapori School. So this is something that's been in the works for about 5 years, and we got stuck with COVID for a while that jumped the price up about 3 times. So we are, but you had a major play in making this happen, believe me. So thank you. Okay, so let's.
I'd just like to share, because I'm the representative from our church to those meetings for the chili cook-off, and I want to share with our church that we gave a donation for $500 to the Amato Youth Center, so nice job.
Yeah. We're a silver buckle sponsor of the Amato Youth Group. So, okay, so let's close this portion out in prayer. Please consider coming to Armand and Angelina's concert. They're very dear friends of mine. We've been friends, well, since 1966. Right, no, 1996. 96, when they were one of the first people I met when I came to Florida. We said hi on the phone and talked for an hour. So beautiful people, both of them. So please come, and plus they're fun. They're fun. It's Angela is classically trained, and Armand says he's beer trained. So. And that's a paradox too. So please join us and bring friends. I'd love to see this place overflowing for them. So, okay, thank you. So, again, we'll close this portion out in prayer. Thank you all for being here. I see our snowbirds coming back, and I'm so delighted. So, and some new people, new faces I don't recognize. So, and lovely to have Lynn here today. Thank you for being here, sweetheart. Very special. So I know that there is one mind, one life, one intelligence, and it's known as God. Its attributes are love, truth, beauty, joy, harmony, peace. And we are made in that image from that creative intelligence. So anything that we say about spirit is true of each one of us. And as we uncover who we truly are, and move into that space of knowing that we walk in 2 worlds, the world of the human, the world of duality, and the world of oneness, the world of divinity. And the more we learn to do that with ease and grace, it shows up in our lives in amazing ways. And not only for us, but for everyone we touch. We literally become a healing force for good. So I speak my word right now for anyone who's experiencing any kind of a challenge, to know that right where that challenge is, God is. We speak a special word for Israel and Palestine and the conflict there, for the Ukraine. So whether it's people-caused or nature-caused, we know that right at the heart of any seeming disaster is the healing power and presence of God, and we call that forth right now. I give thanks for the opportunity to be here, to be part of my spiritual family that I love so very much, and to know that together we can change the world, as we say together, and so it is. Thank you. Can we stand and sing Stand, please?
So let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are living a new world now. So let there be peace.